Hello and welcome to the setup video for the tiny Arkham game that I have made. This is basically a travel version of the Arkham Horror based on the third edition of the Arkham Horror that is made by the Fantasy Flight Games. But I made lots of changes and made everything too compact, so it has much less components, and you can take this maybe somewhere when you go on some kind of a trip and play with your friends. So let me just show you first the components that we have here. So going from left to right, we have a old ones card which actually have 4 scenarios. With each scenario has 3 mysteries that you can solve. There is a Doom truck, of course, and we have a little token to track that Doom. Then we have a setup card for each scenario. It's also double-sided, and this is how you set up the scenario, how you set up the city districts, and there are also some specific conditions for that scenario. Then we have a monster attack chart, which on the other side also have an epic monster attack chart. Monsters in this game, when they attack you, you will have an encounter basically. You're gonna roll a dice going from 1 to 6 and have different monster encounters. Then we have a corruption track here, which is something new that I developed for this game, where to make it more like challenging and different, because there is not much cards, so you can't really put too many encounters on these little cards. So I made this corruption track where as it goes up, it also makes monsters stronger and really harder to evade, but also dictate what kind of skills you have to test when doing encounters. I'll explain how that works a bit later. Then of course we have encounter cards. They are also double-sided. Each encounter is connected to one of these city districts. We have clue tokens that are used during a mystery. Then we have a city districts. This is what's going to build your little map of Arkham depending on the scenario. And together with these district cards, we also get these 4 dice that represents corruption, because each district can get corrupt. That is connected with how the Doom actually advances during the mysteries. Then we have 2 cards that represent the assets that investigators can buy and their starting items. We have one that is double-sided, which you can choose at the beginning of the game which you want to use, and one that you always use are basically representing the personal items of the investigators. But since you only use 4 investigators per game, you actually have lots of items you can choose from. They also have a money track that track the group money of all investigators, and the focus track, where you can use the focus to focus different skills. Then of course we have our investigators teams, 2 per card, and also double-sided, so we have like 8 investigators to choose. There are 4 old investigators from Tiny Eldritch, the game that also I made, and we have 4 new ones. And then we have our mythos board with the headline daily effects and other role encounters. This board is also double-sided. And then we have this little Cthulhu statuette that I use to track who's the lead investigator is. Investigators also has 2 dice to use during a game, with 4 of these little figurines to represent the investigators on the map, and each investigator also gets one cube that is used to track his items and conditions. We also have 2 cubes. One is used for tracking the money and one is used for tracking the focus. And those are all components for this game. So right now I'm gonna set up the game, and then later I'm gonna record the playthrough. So first thing you need to do is to choose your investigator team. So you do that before actually choosing which the old ones you're gonna fight against. So because I like to do it randomly, I'm actually gonna spread this on the table, and then I'm gonna throw some dice and see who's gonna be an investigator team. So I'm gonna choose 2 teams, which means I'm gonna play 4 investigators. Going from left to right, it's 1 to 4, so let's see. So I'm gonna use this card here, and now I'm gonna roll again. 1 to 3, I'm gonna use the upside. 4 to 6, we're gonna use this other side of this card. So let's see. Also we're gonna have let's see, we're gonna have Amanda Wilson and Kai Herberts. Those are gonna be one of our investigator teams. So let's see who's gonna be the other investigator team. Let's go 1 to 3. Oh, come on. Now I'm getting fixed. Like probably when I play the game. Okay, so we're gonna have this team here, and let's see which part of the card. It's gonna be Rachel Brunner and Marcia Stipetit. So these gonna be our second investigator teams. Well, I kinda hope you're gonna see the new players, but I guess not. So basically the same investigator as in Eldritch Horror. But yeah, let's see how they gonna fare in the Arkham Horror. So yeah, I'm gonna place these here. Alright, I need my Mythos board to be somewhere close. Let's place it here. And now I need to see what is the items that investigator starts with. So let's start with Amanda. She starts with a rabbit foot pendant and $1. So let's I'm gonna use blue for Amanda. I'm gonna use red for Kai Herbert. I'm gonna use green for Marcel and the white for Rachel. So let's see Amanda. So she has a rabbit foot. So she's blue. Let's find that item on the map. Here it is. So she starts with rabbit foot pendant and $1 for now. But it's gonna increase because we're gonna use money for all other investigators. So Kai Herbert starts with taxi driver ally and also $1. So this will increase to 2. And he has a taxi driver ally. Here it is. Rachel starts with pocket watch and $1. Okay. Here it is, pocket watch and $1. This goes to 3. And Marcel starts with ceremonial dagger and also $1. So he's gonna have this ceremonial dagger here and $1. So together investigator starts right now with $4 of money. Okay, let's see the special items. So pocket watch, it says you can't get delayed, so Rachel can't get delayed. Kai Herbert has a taxi driver, which is ally. It says after using a travel action, he can move one clue toward nearest investigator, which is nice. Rabbit foot for Amanda. She has once per turn. Per turn, she can reroll one die when resolving a test. It's basically same like focus, but with the focus she will be able to do it 2 times. And ceremonial dagger, after defeating a monster, do a free ward action. It says action limitation applies, which is important. I'm going to explain that how it works. So after you give them all their items, the second thing you need to do is to set your focus. Now, also to set the lead investigators, let's say the Rachel is our lead investigator. So usually the lead investigator is going to set the starting focus, and let's say she's going to focus the observation now. After that, you can always use action to move this around. Okay, so let's take a dice we're going to use, and now it's time to choose which old one are we going to fight against. So if you look closely in this set of cards here, each of them in the top corner has a number, so if you want to, you can actually randomly choose the mystery old one. So I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna roll a dice, and I got a 3, so 3 to 4. You're gonna play the mystery called Springtime in Carcosa. So it's actually here, so I'm gonna leave that close by. And now we're gonna do the setup. So first time it says it shows you how to place these district cards. So let's actually look through them. So each district card has this little icon here. So looking at this icon, you can actually see how to set up these districts. So the north side is here in the lower left. Then let's see what we have here. We have a south side here. The one with the key, let's see, that's a French hill. And the one with the like a planet, that's a downtown. So this is our setup right now of Arkham map. So how this works is everything that is adjacent is connected. So these districts are connected like this, but the districts can't be like moved from one to another diagonally. So right now this is connected, but north side is not connected to the south side. If I want to go to south side from the north side, I actually have to either go to downtown, then up, or to French Hill to the south side. So that's important thing. The next thing we can see on this little map is each district got its number, which means we're going to use those numbers when we need to randomize something, and each district also has a starting corruption. You see this little like a dice here. This tells you where the corruption starts. So this is where you take these dice. I'm going to actually lock these cards in place because they're not going to move. And you set each corruption die to 2 and place it in the spot on the card. This is where you place the corruption. And this will also dictate how you're gonna set up the corruption tracker card. You'll see that immediately. I'm gonna do that also. Alright, corruption on 2, and now let's go to our little corruption track. Basically, you check which is the district with the highest die. In this case, all are on 2. So the corruption starts at 2, which means this little token, which is hollow, starts also on 2. This represents the monster, their strength. So whenever you fight a monster, you have to roll 4 and plus when you attack it. And this represents how the monster actually looking for you, how you can evade it. So when you want to evade it, you need to roll 3 or more. While these little symbols I'm going to explain as we do our first encounter. Alright, so let's see what else we have on the setup card. It says investigator starts in the street spot of the district of their choice. So if we check these districts, each of them has a street spot. So this is where I can put my leading investigator. So let's start with Rachel. Actually, before I do that, okay, there's nothing of interest right now. Well, let's say Rachel's gonna start in the north side. Marcel's gonna start. They can start on the same space if they want, but I'm gonna spread them around. So I'm gonna put the Marcel on downtown. I'm gonna put Amanda in the French Hill, and I'm gonna put Kai in the south side. So I'm gonna spread them around in each district. They're gonna start all around. And the next thing it says, Doom start on space 12. So let's take a Doom truck. So the cube. We're playing Springtime to Carcosa, so Doom's gonna start on 12. And Doom's gonna move to 0. When it comes to 0, the game is over. Basically you lose the game if that happens and you don't manage to finish all 3 mysteries. So let's check our first mystery. Let's read it. It says, City of Arkham is falling into slumber. Reality and dreams are blending into each other. You have to find out how to get to the dreamlands of Carcosa. To advance to the next mystery, you will need to place 3 clue tokens on this card. Important, before doing the research action, investigators first must discard 1 spell. Alright, so those are the prerequisites for this mystery. We need to get 3 clue tokens, and to be able to place them on the card during research action, we actually need to discard the spell first. Alright. So I'm gonna keep this card close by, because this card also has, after setup, it has some conditions. So for instance, there is a condition slumber that we can get during this game mystery. It says when you are in slumber, you no longer resolve your action and encounter phase. Another investigator on your space must test his strength to remove this condition from you. If every investigator has this condition, investigator lose the game. So basically we can all went into the sleep which we can't wake up. Also, special agreement, it says you need to test strength. If you pass, you can remove this agreement. If you fail, you are lost. Remove this agreement. So you can get lost in the other world if this reckoning effect happens while you're having agreement. When this icon is we need to resolve this icon during the mythos, it's +1 corruption to all districts. So all districts gonna get corruption when we have to resolve this icon with tentacle. And also reckoning is each investigator in the district with 4+ corruption gains a condition. So basically, if reckoning happens and you're in district that has a corruption of 4 or more, you're gonna get into slumber and fall asleep. So we need to watch our corruption on the districts. Anyway, the game is set up. I'm just gonna move this close by to use during playthrough. You place a curious here. Oops, put the dice with it. Okay, let's return it. Remove the investigators we are not playing with. And we are ready to go. So in the next video, I'm gonna explain how the action works, the phases of the round, how the turn goes, and then we're gonna actually play the game. And I'm usually like to play the game and explain during the game how, depending how the things happen, and basically what can happen during each turn as the game goes. So thanks for watching. This is the Tiny Arkham, and see you in the next episode. Goodbye.